I'm just really excited about this book. Oh, this book. Thank you, Elaine, for this bookmark. I love it. I've been using it on all my books. Look, I've only read this much, okay? And then like I didn't even read the introduction, but like these first like things here about I read the first chapter, which is very like, it kind of stabs you in your entrepreneurial heart, because it talks about this myth about the entrepreneur thinking they're so heroic and they're so like, oh, look at me, I'm running my own business, oh, look at me, I work from home, which is glamorous, I must say. That's the best thing I think about being an entrepreneur. I don't like to travel, I don't like to like go to glamorous things. I like to work from home, okay, because I want to go to the restroom in my own restroom because I have IBS, and I want to have coffee in my own kitchen. I want to cook my own food because I'm very particular and very picky, okay? That is the best thing, that is glamorous to me. But anyway, it's saying that the e-myth is about this myth of the entrepreneur, is particularly in America. Oh, we're just the best sort of people. We are the strongest type of people. You guys are all stupid. You know, that kind of thing. So I'll be honest, I used to think this way. I used to be like, oh, why is not everybody an entrepreneur? Oh, you guys are stupid. Like I would literally think that. And I would look down on people who weren't entrepreneurs, because I was like, you guys are fucking suckers, because I was a sucker too, and I know what that shit is like. Because I won't talk like my husband. He'll be like, oh yeah, I used to work. I was like, dude, you did not get a paycheck from your nursing job. It was a nursing externship, okay? So I always have that one up over him, like, dude, you did not work. I worked, okay? And I didn't work for a very long time because I had a husband who was an entrepreneur and showed me, you're a chump. I'm doing what I love. You're not doing what you love. You gotta drive 3 hours a day. Beat, sucker. That's how I felt. I was like, dude, you're right. And that's how I got sucked into all this wedding photography business. Anyway, that is the entrepreneurial myth. Like, hey, dude, working for yourself is hard motherfucking work, okay? Progress is like that graph that you see, that meme. It's like, progress for an entrepreneur is not like this, it's like this. Yeah, okay, I get it. But when you read these words for yourself, and I think that's the magic of books. Books, they're all written the same way, right? They're all from the same printer. They're not saying it any differently, but the way that you interpret it, the way the words that, you know, I'll read this right here, you know, the legend reeks of nobility, of lofty extra-human efforts, of prodigious commitment to larger-than-life ideals. I'm like, oh yeah, oh my God. Well, while there are such people, my experience tells me that they are rare. And then that boosts your ego a little bit as an entrepreneur. Of the thousands of business people that I've had the opportunity to know and work with over the past 2 decades, few were real entrepreneurs. When I met them, the vision was all but gone in most. And I'm like, oh, so true. The zest for the climb had turned into a terror of height. That's how I feel right now. My God, the face of the rock had become something to cling rather than to scale. Exhaustion was common, exhilaration rare. Oh, it speaks to me. It speaks to me, that's my language. So the first chapter is very brief, and it just goes, hey, yes, entrepreneurship can be glamorous, but it's not always like that. In fact, most of entrepreneurs don't know what the fuck they're doing. True. It tells you about the entrepreneurial seizure. I love this. I love how books can eloquently put together and package an idea that's been swimming around in your mind for like forever that you couldn't convey, right? That's the beauty of these authors. And I'm so grateful to them. To understand the e-myth and the misunderstandings at its core, let's take a look at the person who goes into business. Now this is really important, okay? Because this made like a light bulb turn on for me. For you when you started your business, and if you were thinking about going to everywhere, the idea of being your own boss, doing your own thing, singing your own song became obsessively irresistible. Once you were stricken with the entrepreneurial seizure, there was no relief. You couldn't get rid of it. You had to start a business. Yes. I remember that very feeling. That feeling of, I had to. I can't do anything else. I quit. Everything is stupid. Everything's red tape. Everything's bureaucracy in here. I quit. I remember that. I remember so clearly because I read 4 Hour Work Week, and then it poisoned my mind. It vexed me so. And I said, I cannot do anything else. I quit. 2012, quit my hazardous materials specialist job that I was already kind of falling off of. I had come into this new department called special projects where you get to do Photoshop and shit. And I was like, this is what I should be doing, like design, like creative stuff. Like I was doing some photography already for this place because I was just like, I'm so much more suited to this thing of creation, of managing, of this technical work, right? Here's another thing called the fatal assumption. The fatal assumption is when you understand the technical work of a business, you understand a business that does that technical work. Boom! Right there. That's the fatal assumption. And that right there, my friends, in chapter 1, that's what it did to me. And then I took a nap. After I woke up from my nap, I had time to kind of digest what that actually meant. So I, being a second shooter that was kind of dragged along into second shooting by Kevin, I resented it after 7 years of doing it. And by the time we got married, I was done. I was like, I ain't touching this camera. Give it away. Give it to Jonathan. I don't care. Take my place. I was just like, please let me do something else, because I had not owned it. I'd basically been dragged along to do it for free, okay, all that time, most of the time, for free, most of the time. And which was fine, because it's like, when you're boyfriend, girlfriend, you're just like, let's do things for each other. That's how I rationalize that to myself. Fast forward from 2012, doing a bunch of shit, and launching a business last year about, you know, in the photography realm, and now trying to manage a team of people. I always had some sort of like imposter syndrome, okay? Because I never really led weddings. I did a couple, and that was just kind of by accident. Like one time, like Kevin double booked himself, and I was like, I can do it. And then I did a couple on my own, like whatever, tried to do it under my own name, but I didn't love it. And I don't feel particularly passionate about being a wedding photographer. I'm very passionate about the business side of it though. Okay, so that's where I found validation in that. Even though I know how to do it, okay? I know how to be a wedding photographer. I see the ins and outs completely. I know exactly what the work involved is. I do it on my side, right? The only thing that I don't do in practice on a regular basis is perhaps be the primary photographer in weddings. And so that was the one like kink, my Achilles heel, in how I would feel like an imposter, like not complete in my training as a wedding Jedi. I felt like my training was not complete without doing that. And so I was always reluctant to fully take the reins of being a wedding photographer or running the business. And now when I read that statement, okay, let me read it for you again. Let me read it for you again. The fatal assumption is when you understand the technical work of a business, you understand a business that does that technical work. That's a fatal assumption. So these are two very different things. Running a business, working in your business, and working on the business. In and on, okay? The difference. I finally saw the separation for myself and why I cling so fondly to the back end, the admin, the going to meetings, marketing, the video marketing, the all that stuff, versus doing the shooting, the editing, delivering. Okay, so and then shooting and delivering and editing on the lead side. So we have second photographers and we have lead photographers, right? And their jobs are similar but vastly different. And so because I didn't have that lead photographer thing, like, oh, I got 10 years of this lead photographer, since I didn't have that, I felt sort of just incapable, not qualified, you know what I mean? But now that I know there's this delineation between the two, it gives me a lot clearer confidence and validation to pursue and maybe even share my knowledge and teach those things and really see the wedding photography business, or our business, for what it is, and to know and be aware of those separations, and to be okay with that I don't have that lead experience, because I think I invalidate myself a lot of times just because of that, and it's basically just an excuse. So I think a lot of times that will happen for you guys is like, well, I don't have them, so I can't do that, and I think it limits a lot of us, and that's definitely a thought that ran through my mind. I was like, I've never been the lead photographer, and I wouldn't want to step up and lead my lead photographers and my team, because I was like, B, you do that, or Kevin, you do that, you're the lead. I've never been a lead, you know. I didn't want to take responsibility for it. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to actually do that technician's work to actually run a successful company. Okay, just like somebody who hires buys an ice cream shop but doesn't necessarily know how to make ice cream from scratch. You know, maybe they appreciate it, they understand a little bit about it, just like I do. I appreciate the lead photographer's position, and I know exactly what they go through, but it doesn't mean I have to do it. You know, it doesn't mean I need 10 years and a degree about it, to talk about it, to be knowledgeable about it, and to make valuable, smart, wise decisions concerning that role in the company, in the business. So I thought it was so interesting. It's this book in poignant points, and so early in the book is very powerful. So I highly encourage you to check this out. Again, thank you so much to Vince for recommending this to me. I'll be breaking this down. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be many sections in here that are just going to be so strong and so powerful in the way that I perceive things as a business owner, and I'd love to share that with you guys, so that maybe you could read it for yourself, or maybe that will spark something in you that will create a chain, like so many videos that I watched online that created a chain that led me to read this book and now share it with you, and passing good messages along and good vibes along, and coming from a place of genuine, like, positively. Like, I can now make a video and talk about this because I feel good about it now. I feel like I've been able to digest it and internalize it, put it to action in my own company, and now share it with you guys. So, all right, cool. That was fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.